All right, so we are making gluten-free pizza soup. To be honest, pizza soup naturally is gluten-free unless you're concerned about the pepperoni, and then there's a lot of gluten-free pepperonis out there. And so into a covered pan, you can use a Dutch oven. This is a Dutch oven. You can use like some type of stock pot, but whatever pan you're gonna pot, I should say, that you're gonna want to add a lot of ingredients to make a soup, and that volume of a soup. So I have olive oil and grapeseed in here. And before you come at me about the whole anti-seed movement, or should I say religion, because I didn't ask you for your opinion on kind of oils I should or should not be using. When you come at somebody with telling them what they should and should not be doing, it's you're coming at them with religion, telling them what they are should and should not be doing, and it just turns people away. Like there's like this like, you are wrong, I need to control you, I need to save you, you don't know what you're doing. Actually, I do know what I'm doing. I've been cooking and baking in a natural realm since I was 13, and so that is almost like 30 some years. And I've seen so many different food trends. And a side note to all this is that on the opposite side of the whole anti-seed movement is there's actually a seed cycling movement where you use different seeds to help your different cycles, like your lunar cycle and your period and your ovulation and the follicular cycle. So I think it's like chia seeds and pumpkin seeds, and there's some other seeds in there too. So I find it very interesting that we have two opposite trends out there. I feel one is much more empowering and more positive based, and that is the seed cycling method versus the anti-seed method, which that people just like students like come out at you like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that. I'm like, I've been using grapeseed oil for probably like 15 years now, and I really like it. It works well for me, so move along. Anyways, into a pot, put oil. I like to do the combination of the oils because I feel like it adds different, more flavor. So to a pot, I am adding a large onion, and I'm using a whole red bell pepper. And I'm adding ground beef. You can also use ground sausage instead. So this recipe is actually very, very loosely based off of a Taste to Home pizza soup recipe that I had for years, but I wasn't able to find it for doing this video, and I also haven't had it. I couldn't find the recipe, and I haven't made it in probably like 10 years, but it's really, really yummy, and I like a really thick soup, almost more like a stew type of thing. I'm not really into watery soups, so this is going to make more of a thicker type of stew. And so I'm just making this recipe based off of my memory of what I can remember the original recipe being. So it's very loosely based off of that. And I'm just going to cook all this until the meat is done. Then I'm going to add more seasonings to it. Okay, at this point, the meat is almost done. I just want to add a little bit of salt and pepper at this point, just a sprinkle, because I'm going to add more later. And I'm going to crush the garlic in there. So I have I do put the skin of the garlic in there because it's just as flavorful, and it's a soup, so it's going to break down and be so soft you'll never notice. I'm going to finish getting this all cooked through. All right. So the beef is done. Now I am going to add some tomato sauce. So you can do spaghetti sauce, you can do pizza sauce. I find that most pizza sauces lack highly in flavor. So I am using a spaghetti sauce, and I'm going to add lots of seasonings because I like a well-seasoned sauce. And I am not adding quite a quart. I am adding probably like 3 cups of sauce here. And I'm saving just a little bit because I have another recipe I want to use some of the sauce for. So about 3 cups. I am adding, to think about the different type of flavors that pizza and pepperoni have. I'm adding some fennel seeds. I'm adding some oregano. Some of these, like this is like oregano that I grew. So it's dried and then I just crush in my hand. But this looks like it's going to be about a couple teaspoons. And the fennel was probably like a half a teaspoon. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of parsley. Basil. This looks like it's about a teaspoon. I have some thyme. This I'm doing like half a teaspoon. It's just so fun to grow your own herbs and plants and culinary stuff. It's like I did that. Here's some rosemary sprigs. I'm like really crushing them with my hands. That probably altogether was like a quarter teaspoon. And then I have actual pizza seasoning by Frontier Co-op. This company has been around a long time, and they do a really good job of making of most of their seasonings being gluten-free, so you can always look them up. And then I'm going to do just a smidge of sage. And again, these are things that I grew. I have some sage leaves here. This is probably a quarter teaspoon. I measure so many things by how it looks and feels. Not only have I from like baking and cooking all these years, is because I always like doing things my own way, like a true Pisces. Plus, I don't know what I was gonna say. All right, and I'm gonna add some broth here. This is probably about 3 cups. It's almost a quart bag full of broth. And this is vegetable broth that I made. And I did not pull it out in time to thaw, so we're gonna get this squeezed out here. And get some extra juices out. Make sure none of the bag got left in the broth. Nope. Okay. And we are going to cook this till the broth is completely melted. And sort of similar to a chili, we're going to let this simmer for maybe about half an hour to bring all the juices together. And then in the last 10-15 minutes, I have more things when they add towards the end. So I will see you then.